504 Spartan here, and this is the Imperial Guard Command Squad and Lord Commissar review. Now, the million-dollar question here is, which one should I run for my HQ and or Warlord? Here's my answer. I like both of them. I really do. I really like both of their abilities. I like what they do, and I enjoy how they work, either together or, well, a little bit separate sometimes. And in the games that I play with the Imperial Guard. So, here's the command squad, and the command squad is just like that, 50 points, easy 50 points right there. Now you're saying that's pretty cheap. Yes, it is. Now the company commander has a bunch of rules and options he has. I would just keep him glass pistol and his chainsword. Nothing else. You could run and give him a bolter if you're not gonna move, but you want to save the points for the rest of the command squad. Why? Because there's two options. If you're playing, like I said, if you're playing with more stuff, more tank heavy or fast attack heavy, you wanna make sure that he is alive, and make sure that your extra options you have in your command squad are alive. What I mean in this case, I'm gonna say, upgrade these guys. First of all, hold on. Let's upgrade one at a time. Let's go upgrade them with a combat medic. Now, the medic gives the whole entire squad a 5-up feel no pain, which is really good. In this case, if you don't want him to be your if you don't want the squad to be your warlord, or you lose the chance to roll the d6 and you do not get the feel no pain warlord trait, that's fine. You have this thing to replace that. Now, keep in mind that this command squad will be pricey. The way how I personally run it. Now you can run a normal command squad. It's 50 points, easy HQ right there. Now I give him a medic. That's the first thing I do. That's the first thing. Second thing, a lot of people do not use this in the Vox way, and I give my command squad a Master Vox. Why? And people say that Vox casters are terrible, that they don't do anything. Yes, they are right. They do not do anything unless you give your command squad a 5-up increase, 5-point increase to give one of your guardsmen a Master Vox. The Master Vox allows you to re-roll all your missing orders. If you fail your order, you can re-roll it. So, especially with that leadership 9 that the company commander has, which is honestly not really that good. I prefer them to be leadership 10. It's pretty useful to run. People say that they don't prefer the Voxcaster. I honestly say I do prefer the Voxcaster. It's much better than people think. Sure, it used to be way better back in 3rd and 4th edition, but in 5th edition, people just don't see it. It helped me every single time. Every single time I play Imperial Guard, the Voxcaster helps on what I need to do. Is either bring it down or fire my target, which the Imperial Guard's Codex basically gives you a lot of the orders options, like firing 2 to 3 times with your guardsmen's last guns, having your weapons be twin linked against monstrous creatures, making sure that your opponent re-rolls their cover saves, which is beautiful against orcs. It's so good against orcs, especially with their bikers. But yeah, and yeah, it works fine. It works perfectly. Now, the next thing I do, and this is already 85 points right here. Next thing I do is I replace these two, pay 10 more points, and I give my command squad an autocannon. Why an autocannon? Because an autocannon is 10 points, strength 7, AP 4, so it will at least glance armor 13. You have the autocannon basically to defend yourself. At least you're gonna shoot something with that this entire turn. You're gonna have at least something that will soak up a few wounds from your company commander, because you don't want him to die. You want all these guys to die first before he does. So that way you have the chance to have the orders, even the rest of the guys die. Now you don't want to give your command squad a company flag or something like that, because there's not really a point. I say this is mostly the company command squad is a better HQ option for defense. If you're gonna use an Aegis defense line and you're gonna just camp there and give orders on it, it will work. It does the job. It will, and you will have the chance to re-roll your failed orders. So yeah, you can do it. It works. So I like it. Some people do not like this, but it's worked on me so far. You could try it out. If you do not prefer this idea, then I would just say run the company command squad with their advisors. Now that's what I'm gonna talk about next. The regimental advisors. So you have 3 of them, and then one of them that are like special. They're a little bit different. Now you have all that. Each advisor is 30 points, which is a lot of points. This is gonna increase your entire command squad probably up to 90 points. Why? Because all the advisors are sort of useful. The first advisor that I say is the most useful, especially if you're running flyers, like I stated in the last video. It's the astropath. Now note that I do not have the actual model for the astropath because they're expensive as hell and look ugly as hell, so I decided to have my own astropath. Yeah, I painted this one myself. All of these I painted myself, except for like the ones that are not 501st colors. So yeah, this is the astropath that I run. What the astropath does for 30 of its points, it basically says one of my reserves comes in on a 2-up instead of a 3, and then if any of my reserves fails to come in, I could re-roll, which is beautiful. I'm saying, oh my god, if you want your flyers to come in by the second turn, this is the guy to have. Make sure that he doesn't die. He is almost as important as your commander. After turn 2, he could die if he wants. He did his job. So yeah, I'm saying I like this guy. He's really good. Next one. He doesn't do much, but he's there because I could get another shot. Aside from my autocannon, which is 48 inches, I have another dude known as the Master of Ordnance. Now, Master of Ordnance is basically, he has a Lehman Russ behind the field, behind the board, that he could fire anywhere in the field at strength 9, AP 3. Yeah. Now, what happens is that instead of rolling your 2d6, you need to roll 3d6 plus your scatter die. Now, if you're well, first of all, let me show you how this works. Let me get my dice out and explain how this works. Let me get my scatter die. There you go. Let's go to the other field right here. Right there. So you have your scatter die. And you have your 2d6s, right? So you have your pie plate. Oh, sorry. You have your pie plate. You want to shoot at, let's say, this guy. He wants to die. You put your Master of Ordnance shot here. Now, it says right here, direct hit. If you could see. Can you see it? Yes. Right there. Technically, with the Master of Ordnance ability, which is kind of bad. I do not like this part, but it has to do. You will have to still scatter, even though it says direct hit, but according to the rules for the Imperial Guard Master of Ordnance, you will have to scatter where the black arrow is this many, minus the BS4 that your Master of Ordnance is. So he will be going 7 inches. This pie plate over here will be moving 7 inches that way. So it will be just hitting around somewhere there. And it doesn't matter, that means it's alive. Now if it rolls on an arrow, let's say it rolls right there, you still lose, you still have to reduce it by its BS skill. However, you have to roll 1 extra d6. And the most unfortunate thing happens, which is gonna, let me show you guys. Yeah, I rolled another 6, so it's just gonna go way off. It's just gonna boop, disappear. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, it's a good unit. I got a few actual legitimate direct hits with him, by having like rolling bad like 1 or 2s and then just reducing his BS skill, and it gives me the shot where I want it, even though I have to like scatter. Technically I do not. So he's good. He will at least hurt your opponent, but he is honestly not worth the 30 points. I would say if for the next codex they should reduce him by like probably 10 points, 15 points at least, because yeah, it scatters too much, or at least get rid of that weird scatter rule. It's just not useful. And the third one, which annoys the living hell out of your opponent, it's really annoying for your opponent because it will screw up with the reserves and all its reserves rolls. Master of the Fleet. Now the Master of the Fleet, what he does is basically says, that's a nice 3-up what's called reserve roll you rolled. Let's hope that you have to roll a 4-up instead. Your opponent has to roll a 4-up, and if they succeed on their reroll, on their roll, they are forced to reroll their reserve roll, their successful reserve roll. So that means that, first of all, they need on a 4-up, they need to succeed. Once they succeed, they have to reroll again. So which it really is kind of derpy. I say this one and the Astropath are the two main ones that you want to run. It's 60 points additional, but it's well worth it. It's you will delay the inevitable if you're losing. Plus you're gaining your entire air force right there. So it's pretty heavy when it comes in. It just you don't want your opponent to bring in their air force like Helldrakes or Deep Strike Terminators behind your lines that easily. You want to have control of the board. That's what I'm saying. It's more of a control game with this HQ unit, and that's what I use it for. And that way, at least I could give a little punch to somebody whenever I'm using it. Now, running in a Chimera probably is a good idea. If you run into a Chimera, you could use the armor, any tip of the armor, for to measure your orders range. So it actually extends your orders range by a little bit more. So any bit helps, any little thing helps to get your orders out. Now about orders, if you roll double 1s, you gain an extra order. If you roll double 6s, you fucked up and you do not roll any additional orders that turn, and you fail that order. That's why I'm saying the Voxcaster is good. That way you will not have those double 6s ever, unless you roll double 6s then re-roll double 6s, which is probably not going to happen. So, and here's the last guy. The last guy that I want to talk about for HQ, the commissar, Lord Commissar, whatever you want to call him. The guy that looks like Commissar Gamsa. There you go. Now, the commissar, what you want to do is you want to have your quad gun and your Aegis defense line. This is my strategy, and it works so every time, and it just pisses everyone off because it's really hilarious. It's basically your Lord Commissar comes in at BS5. You man this quad gun, which is 4 shots, strength 7, AP 4, twin linked, and intercept. So you could fire in the air. No, intercept and skyfire. So you could fire in the air if you want. Now, the funny thing is, he's BS5, so that means he will be using this quad gun at BS5. So he needs to roll 2s and will reroll all 1s. So he basically does not miss at all. He will kill whatever you shoot. Keep that in mind, he will be alone unless you give him a squad of veterans to be with or a squad of guardsmen. He will be alone there and will shoot the quad gun by itself. This is mostly for defensive purposes only. If you're running an Aegis defense line, definitely run your quad gun with the Lord Commissar. It just blows stuff up. It will destroy small vehicles. It will blow up. It will be a terrible, terrible thing against the orc bikers, for example, or any bikers or even flyers. They will take a big hit from this. So, saying it this way, this is my favorite combo with the Lord Commissar. Just running him with the quad gun, and he will just blow stuff up. So yeah. Now, the Commissar Lord himself, BS5, weapon skill 4, I think, or weapon skill 5. He comes in with a bolt pistol, which is better than your last pistol. I would give him carapace armor. That way, you want him to survive a little bit more. You don't want him to die by like pulse rifles or something stupid like that. The funny thing as well is you want him to be your warlord. Why? Why you want him to be your warlord? He's an independent character, so he could join any squad. If you give this company command squad to be your warlord, well, the commander to be your warlord, his lookout sir will be a 4-up because he's not an independent character. He's just a character. He is an independent character, however, and you could put him in this squad whenever you're done shooting with your quad gun, and if they're being picked off one by one, you want everyone to die first. Then your Lord Commissar survives because he has a 2-up lookout sir. So I would say run him definitely as your warlord. That way you have more maneuverability within your entire troops if you are getting picked off one by one. Running him in a Chimera? No, do not. Just keep him on hold, or you could charge in. If you want to be really offensive, you could go in with your blob of guardsmen, with lots of guardsmen. We're talking about 50 guardsmen. You could just go in and let all those guardsmen be picked off one by one, but the commissar will give them stubborn, so they will not fall. They will have to re-roll their morale tests if they fail it, which is amazing. That would just push everything apart. Like swarm armies for Imperial Guard, you could do that with the normal commissar. You could do that with this commissar. He has another special ability, but I don't see him useful for that one. I don't even remember what it is because I don't use it. I use him basically for the quad gun itself. The quad gun is just broken combo. It's just shoot your opponent with this thing. It's fun. If you're a new Imperial Guard player, I suggest definitely getting an Aegis defense line with your Commissar Lord. If you don't have a Commissar Lord, well, I say that the first thing you do with your command squad is you buy one command squad box and you buy one guardsman box, and then you make your Commissar Lord out of your command squad pieces. And then there you go. You have your commissar and your command squad. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys like this video. These are the two main ones that I run. Actually, these are the only two HQs that I run for Imperial Guard. I would run Creed, Castellan Creed. Now let's talk about quickly Castellan Creed. Or the other guys. They're good, especially Creed. Creed is really, really good. However, two things. First of all, I like to have my own dude. I like to have my own command, my own stuff, my own fluff, and I want to keep it that way. Second of all, Creed is expensive for just himself. And I would say he has some upgrades that are not useful. Like he has hotshot last pistols, which are useless in my opinion. If you're going for fun, yeah, definitely, sure, you could say, okay, I'm bringing Creed, I'm even going with my Castellan Creed, I'm just gonna attack. The only down thing about it is just he's a character. He's a character. He's not an independent character, he's a character. And he will die easily. He will just take all the hits if you do not roll a 4-up. Sure, he has 4-up armor save, and that's it basically. But scouts, he gives any unit scout. So I say run him if you wanna go fast. If you're an offensive player, definitely pay the extra points for Castellan Creed. They're worth it. If you are more of a defensive player, and this is talking in general, I'm talking about like out of the 3 tactics that you could go with Imperial Guard. If you're going for defensive, not really worth running him, because you don't want your entire army to split off. One unit goes forward while the other one stand back. You want all your units to stand back and shoot, and you want them a little bit spread out, but not completely one across the board. The other one stays in the beginning of the board. So you want him mostly for shooting and going forward. So that's what I say. For Colonel Strachan, I would say he's mostly good against melee units. He's strength 6 for some reason, and he's toughness 4. Run him at your own risk, I would say, because he will die. Even though he is a little tougher, he's toughness 4. He has a better armor save than everyone else. But he doesn't do much of a difference to your army. He will get picked off easily as well. So overall, that's my entire review about the HQ units that I use. They're little upgrades that you could give them, and the base of what you can use for your regimental advisors. Your regimental advisors are fantastic, except for one. Now, for the last part, for the regimental advisors, I forgot. You could give them bodyguards. Bodyguards are 15 points each, so you could give a maximum of 2 of them, so 30. They're kind of useless now. They used to be kind of good in 5th edition, because they had a rule called lookout. So that rule is basically they automatically take the hits for your commander. So let's just say this guy's dead. Your commander is taking like 2 wounds, and you have an invulnerable save and you failed it. You take your 2 bodyguards and say, you know what, we're taking the hit for you, buddy. So I take the hit, I'm dead. And this guy takes the hit, he's dead. And your commander will be fine. That was basically the rule. Now the errata for that now is they follow the lookout sir rule. So basically is you need on a 4-up, let's see if they could even take the hit for him. Yeah, so it's not really that good. Don't run bodyguards unless you really need the extra bodies for some reason. If you're just going in all out. But yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you guys liked my video. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it if possible. If you have any comments, let me know down there in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and we will be covering the troop choices. Or possibly an update.